And then, hi everyone. Let me see. My name is Sandy, and I'm here to show you the intros to Procreate, the super basics of stuff of learning how to use Procreate. I started Procreate back in March of this year because, of course, like everybody, we're all a little bit going crazy inside, and I haven't done art actually since about 2009, 2010 because I started undergrad school and then went to grad school, and then I switched over to performing arts and whatnot. So anyways, let's pull up your Procreate screen. These are some of my projects that I've worked with before. And then actually, did you both download the picture of, where's my intro? Did both of you guys save, both of you ladies, where's my page? Save a picture of this yet?
No.
The autumn palettes.
So where do I go?
Okay, if you go to the Facebook, go to Facebook.
Okay.
Go to Intro to Procreate Basics. It's the event.
Okay.
Okay, and then it should be under discussion. And then I posted up the picture of the palette.
So download that.
Yep, just save it to your profile, to your camera roll.
I'm slow. I'm just a mom. So
no worries.
Click save post.
No, you're gonna click on the picture.
Save photo.
Yep, there you go.
Look, I have, my kids are 38 and 30, well, 35 and 37 right now. And they like, Mom, like, look, if I ask you a question, I don't know.
It's no worries. Especially, it doesn't help when like my parents who are, you know, they're Asian American and their English isn't the best either. So trying to walk them through these things, it's like, look for that thing that's there. And then on top of that, my dad's blind. So trying to explain to him physically where it is when he can't see it, it's also very interesting challenge.
Okay.
Okay. So we all have those photos saved?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So this is your Procreate screen. When you click on this top right corner right here, that's to create a new canvas. Okay, so there's already presets in here, but I wanted to show you if you had a canvas size that wasn't one of the preset, you click on that top corner and it will pop up this untitled canvas for you. In here, I normally use inches because we grew up in the US, we didn't learn anything else. We use inches so you can set the height and the width of the canvas that you're planning on using. So like say I want to use 8.5 by 11, right? The DPI, this is important, especially if you want to print your stuff. You want to make sure that you have at least a minimum of 300, because then when it goes out, the quality is better. If you have less, it'll come out blurry. What DPI is just the pixels per inches that you have.
Do you change that?
The DPI right here?
Yes.
Yeah. So you want it to, I like to set mine at 300 in case I like to print my stuff.
Okay.
Yep. So that helps with that. And because depending on how big your laptop, your iPad is, it'll tell you the maximum of layers that you can have. So for mine, at 8.5 by 11 with 300 DPI, I have a maximum of 19 layers to work with. But say if I want to work with like a 5 by 7 because I'm doing a postcard instead, I can get up to 59 layers. Right? So you pick your height, your width and your height. I set my DPI standard is 300 and then tells you how many layers you have to work with. So this is
how do I see your screen on your Procreate all the time? How do I see that?
I pinned it. I think
I can see it really little, but because your screen doesn't look like mine.
I think if you click on it, what happens if you click on it? Or do I spotlight Nimmy's do I do spotlight video? Does that work?
Yeah, that works.
So spotlight video is what we're looking for.
Okay.
So before you go any further,
Yep.
mine says 2,048 inches. So how do I get rid of that?
You just click on it, and then you type in a new number.
It's not.
Oh, there. Okay.
Do I hit create first?
Ooh.
No. You're supposed to fix it before you hit create. So what happens when you click on that area? It says it's light. Just try typing a number. After you click on it, and try typing a number.
Okay. 8.5, you say?
Yeah.
Okay, by 11?
Yeah, we'll try it by 11. Did that work?
Yes, I don't
Okay,
know why.
Your
Thank you.
Yep, your DPI is going to be 300, and then how many layers do you have on maximum on yours?
59.
Yeah. So your iPad's much bigger than mine.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no worries. It just means it has more memory. Okay, so
Okay.
then we'll press create, and that will pop up our canvas.
Okay.
Okay, so from here, we'll go over all the little tools, and then as we go further in throughout the rest of the month, we'll delve deeper into some of them. So when you press gallery up here, it sends you back to that home page. Okay, so
Yes.
next we'll click back on the artwork. This little wrench tool, I usually start with add. You can add a file, insert a photo, take a photo, add text, cut, copy canvas. So these are the things that we'll use this in just a moment to put in that picture that we just saved to our photo album. In Canvas, here you can crop and resize. There's animation assist. There's a drawing guide, which turns on your grids. You can flip your canvases, and then the canvas information. If you pick one of the presets and you don't know which DPI it's in, you just click on this canvas information and I'll tell you here. But the thing is that make sure that before I start any project, I always check this if I pick a preset, because some of them are a lower DPI and then you can't change it after it's already been created.
Okay.
We'll cancel out of that. Share. You can share and Procreate, Photoshop profile. These are the different files. So Photoshop, PDF, JPEG, PNG, TIFF, and then you can share the different layers as well. Video, there's a time-lapse replay. So Procreate automatically saves your progress as you're drawing, and then they can put that into a time-lapse without you having to fix it. And I don't ever use preference, and there's help. Okay. We'll close that up real quick. I'll continue going across the top. This little wand button is adjustments. So you're adjusting opacity, which means like whether it's clear or if it's going to be opaque. The different types of blurs when you're drawing. We'll go over that most likely during week 3 when we have our lettering. You can sharpen, noise, liquefy, clone. You can change the colors of things. So hue, saturation, brightness, color balance, curves. All of this we'll play with it later down the road. This button right here is our selection. There's an automatic selection, which means it picks everything of that color in that layer. There's freehand, which means you can draw how you want. There's the rectangle, which means that you can just draw it out in a rectangle. There's nothing there selecting. And then same thing with the ellipse. So you can draw it out in the ellipse for you. And this is your selection tool. We'll go over that a little bit later today. And then this layer, there's nothing on right here right now, but that is going to help us, move things or size them. Over on the left side, on the top one is going to be your brush size. So I'm going to change my brush real quick. Over to, actually, let's do calligraphy. So everybody change this is your brushes. All you just click on that button that brush button.
Okay, but how do you get new ones? Like I don't have any calligraphy brushes. I don't have anything.
It's defaulted. It should have come with the program. Do you see calligraphy?
Yeah, I see calligraphy.
So click on that.
Okay.
And then you should have a whole selection.
Okay.
let's pick the script brush at the very bottom.
Okay.
There you go. So what's nice about Procreate is that it already comes with a plethora of brushes. So, and if you want to add more brushes, we can go over that at a later time. But
Okay.
let's do that one. Actually, let's continue going across the top. This button is to smudge. So if you have pictures, you can smudge it. This the next one next to it is to erase. And then that one is your layers, so all the different layers that you can add. And then we'll go over how to delete. I'll go over that again in just a moment. And this is your color palette, which reminds me, let me delete this real quick because we'll go over it again. Okay, so you just click on your brush, pick your script. I think your colors right now is probably defaulted to black, right?
I have like a peachy color, but I can
A
change
peachy
it.
color? Okay, let's change it to black. So what we do is we click on that button. If we want true colors on this wheel, all you have to do is if you want white, double click in the white area and it automatically routes you to white. If you want true black, you just double click near the black and it will default to black for you.
Hold on a second.
Yep.
Tap on.
Just near the black area, you see the round area, Marlene? This
Yes.
round circle. You just double click near the black area and it would automatically snap to black. Did you see it? Did it work?
Yes.
Cool. So yeah, so if you tap near a true color, you tap by any color, like say if I want a true orange and it's brown right now and I double clap towards that orange, it pulled up a true orange for me.
Okay.
So, and then here's my blacks and my white. And then we'll go back. So right here is our brush size. So you're drawing out this way, right? So if I want a larger brush size, this is me pressing all the way down with my pen. If I want smaller, I just bring it down. So there's a couple ways that you can erase after you draw this. You can go up to layers. You can click on layer and then click clear.
Okay.
Did you try that?
Yes.
Yep. Did it work? Okay, perfect. So let's try draw and let's play with the pressure again. So this is the advantage of having an Apple Pen because I know it's pressure sensitive. Again, we're in the script calligraphy brush, which means that when I draw it lightly, it's small. When I press down on it harder, it gets thicker.
Okay, so it doesn't do. Okay, so that's probably what that's.
Yep. Yeah, so that's one of the advantages that I know of the Apple Pencil. It's when we do light and then hard. Light and then hard.
You have it all the way up?
What happened?
You have your brush size all the way up?
Let me read. I can have it all the way up. So here's that's all the way up. Yep. So that's my script brush size all the way up right now.
So it doesn't do it then. So I need my iPad because I can go light and it's just the same.
Yep. So there you go. So that's the difference between your $2 stylus, which lets you draw, but it doesn't give you that pressure sensitivity of the Apple Pencil.
Now, do I charge on here?
Do you have the Apple One or the Apple II?
I think 2 years ago. So whatever they sold me.
Is it okay? It might be the one. If it's the one, it has this it has this little thingy right here.
Okay, so this is the 2 then. So it doesn't have it.
It doesn't have it. Then yours charges wirelessly. You just have to attach it to your iPad.
Okay.
Like the top of your iPad, it automatically it has a magnet that attaches to it, and then it charges wirelessly.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. So I said that was one way to clear your canvas is when you click on the layers and you press clear. The other way to clear your canvas is you take 3 fingers and you just scrub it. Oops. There you go. Take 3 fingers and you scrub it.
With eraser?
What happened? No,
Are you
no
using-
eraser. You just grab 3 fingers and you scrub. Did it work for you, Nikki? Marlene, have you tried it yet?
Increase your earning potential and your opportunities. MBA from Purdue University.
I got.
Rated number 6 for innovation.
No.
Next giant leap in your career. Learn more about the.
Sorry, I have a call coming in. Give me a second, please. I'm sorry.
Okay. No worries. So, and then let's see, what else do we have?
I'm on my call.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Bye bye.
My son, and my one on the way.
Okay. So.
It's called Charity Water, and our mission is to bring clean water to everyone on the planet.
Okay. So now I was trying to do that, and so now I just did this. This is what happened. So my page is tilted. So what do I? How do I fix that?
You can just grab and just bring it back.
Okay.
Yep.
Each other, and they love
You can just pinch it and then you can, so that's what's nice about this as well. We'll go over that in just a moment. Did that work?
Okay. So
Okay,
now to erase it, take 3 fingers and erase.
Erase. Yep. You just scrub it up and down and then it erases the whole canvas for you.
It just keeps moving it just moves the canvas.
Okay. Then the clearing might be the easier way to do it then.
Since I'm not good with that. Do it again.
books, radio waves.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can play with that one a little bit later and see if it
Yeah.
ends.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So if I want to undo, so I say, right? So I write hi, and I want to undo my what's going on. You grab 2. There's 2 ways you can undo. Actually, I'm trying to remember what the other way is. There's this right down here in the bottom left. There's an arrow that turns back. You can undo that way, or redo. So there's the 2 buttons down here. So there's a rewind and forward. Otherwise, the other way that I'm used to is you grab 2 fingers and you just tap.
So I joined a band and moved to New York. I was right about the time when the band broke up.
Did that work? So I'll do it again.
Yes.
Hi.
Yes. That worked.
I realized that you could actually get
And if I
Yeah.
want to redo, because I do like it, you grab 3 fingers and you tap.
a nightclub owner. So you
So
just
all you have to do is just tap them.
you got the right people in the clubs. You can charge
It's super nice and easy.
champagne that costs
Okay.
near you.
Our next section down here, this button right here is the opacity. So it depends on how opaque or how light and transparent you want your thing to be. So I don't think it works with the script brush. Let me see. So right there, I just double tapped it to reverse it. I'm gonna switch over to my airbrush and use my hard airbrush. I'll turn the brush size all the way up and bring my opacity down to 43 or about 40ish. So there we go. That one's better. So the harder I press, again, it's pressure sensitive. So the harder I press, the darker it gets. But here, when I go light, it can change that it goes back to the opacity that I set it at.
Just wants to play basketball. He ain't all that rah, lead me, follow me. Hey guys, hey, this is what we got.
Nikki, did that work for you?
I would agree. Just
Coolio. Woohoo!
all front. Yeah, you know, like, yeah, always gotta
Okay.
make it
So I'm gonna scrub this so that way we can move on.
like KD. Okay, he moved like this.
Next, let's see what I want to get into. Oh, might as well get okay. We're talking about pinching. So you pinch to zoom out. You can pinch to zoom in. Then you can also rotate your canvases.
You lift that blank profile.
So when you're drawing, and if I'm drawing something and I want to turn it around so I can see which way I'm going to continue drawing, that's just how you do it.
It's like a tsunami in a bottle because after what I saw,
And resize and everything like that.
he's going to be the lead assistant.
which makes it super useful when you're trying to zoom in and you're trying to get your little details in there.
Okay.
Okay. So again, I'm gonna clear it. I'm gonna clear it this time just using the button, the layers, and clear. Okay. So now let's get started on our project for today, and then I'll go deeper into detail on what we can do. We're gonna go to the wrench tool, and then we're gonna insert a photo. You're gonna pull that photo that you got from the internet with that color palette. Okay. Are we good?
Yes.
Perfect. So right now you see that when you first inserted it in, it gives me that this is highlighted, which means that I can resize this. To resize it, all you have to do is just move it in and out. To resize it to the one that you want. This little green thing at the top lets you rotate. That green thing at the top right there. And then if you wanted to fit to screen, if you wanted to take up that whole length, you just press fit to screen.
Where is that? Okay.
Yep, fit to screen is down at the bottom right there. And that will expand it up to the size of your canvas.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll click out of it. Just click on that button so that way you deselect.
Go to where?
That top arrow button, just click on it so then it deselects. Did you get it? Right there.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So we're gonna create our own palette now for our project today. We're gonna just pull these colors because then it's like when you're doing other projects and you're like, ooh, I like that color, I want to match it. This is how you're gonna do it. We're gonna click on that top color button. We're gonna go over to palettes.
Hold on. I can't. My pen is still writing.
Well, you're just clicking. You're just pressing on the button.
Okay. It was just still writing. That's all. Like I'm trying to. Okay.
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 Perfect. So you click on that button. You're gonna go to palettes. And then we're gonna press new with the plus button, which then creates a brand new palette for us.
Okay.
I have a question.
Okay. Now what I do is I take my finger, I press down on the button, and it selects that. What it does is an eyedropper. It picks up the color for me.
Okay.
Okay. So I pick that first color, that red color. I let go, and then I press a box. I press that top box right there. And it gives you a color.
Where did you get that
Hold
picture?
on.
Sorry.
Oh, the picture is on the Facebook, the intro to Procreate one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's on that. Do you have the invitation?
Yeah.
And is it Haley?
Callie.
Callie. Nice to meet you.
Hi. I'm on a Zoom call.
And then Marlene, Nikki, did that work for you?
No, say it again. So my finger's on the color. Now what I do?
Once you select the color, you let go, and then you press a box. You press the one of the boxes in the gray, and it would automatically pull in that color for you.
Untitled or
Untitled is fine. We'll title it in just a moment.
okay.
Okay.
It works.
So now, if pressing it doesn't work, if pressing it doesn't work, you can press this button right here on the left side. That button between the opacity and the brush. So remember, this is your brush size. This is your opacity. Press on that button right there. That's also the eyedropper tool.
So I press that, and what will happen?
It's the same thing. You just drag it to the color that you want. So there's two ways to do it, right? You can either hold the button and it will pop it up, or you can press the button and it will do the same thing. And then what you're gonna do again, after you select the color, we're gonna pull open that palette and press the button, and then it will save that color for you. Did you get that?
Okay, I forgot this that quick. So I'm holding the color.
Yep. So you hold the color, let go, and then press on an empty square in the palette.
What?
It's his opinion. Still, at some point in time, I mean, that's the.
And then Nikki and Kaylee, if you guys already finished, then just continue going down and then selecting all the colors. We'll pull all of them just so you have a palette.
So under that argument, the year that Michael Jordan will be great, no. Giannis is about to be a two-time league MVP. He's defensive player of the year. So under that argument, the year that Michael Jordan won the defensive player of the year, the MVP, who was Michael Jordan on that team? Because he got in the playoffs. See, people gotta stop this.
Marlene, did it work for you?
Yes.
Cool.
3 colors. So
No worries. You'll get quicker. So this is a really nice, easy way for us to pick out colors from a photo that we like.
okay, it stopped doing it after I just had the 3. It won't. I'm on just the green. And keep saying default.
In opinions, what is your harmonic opinion is that people keep making Michael.
Okay, I figured it out.
Okay.
It says set, so I have to hit the set.
Let me know when you're done selecting your colors. Cool.
So will there always be space for these colors?
What happened?
Will there always be space for these colors?
Yeah, you can use up the spaces for each color.
I mean, will you have like extra spaces?
Yes, you will have extra spaces because there's only, 3, 6, 9, 12, 14. I can't even see. 18 colors. And there's more spaces than that.
Okay.
Say you accidentally picked a color that you didn't like or you did duplicates. Like here, I did 2 of the same color. If you want to erase it, what you do is you just hold it and let go and it says delete.
Okay.
Yep, that's all you have to do is just hold it, let go, and then delete.
Okay, I got mine done.
Perfect. Let's also add, nope. Let's also add in a white and a black. So again, let's go back to disk. We're gonna press double tap near the white. It brings you to a true white.
Okay, how do I get back to the disk? It's
the bottom left of that same pop-up. Right there. Did you get there, Marlene?
nope.
Nope.
Okay, I went to the bottom left to the circle.
Yep, the disk, and then double click.
So my circle on the top corner is white.
Yep, just double click near that top white, and it will pull you over to a true white.
So how do I get this back open again? Like back up?
Yeah, so you got your true white. Oh, just there should be an exit. There should be so what happened was you accidentally probably pulled it down like this, which is fine because if you wanted it to be floating, but then if you want to close this and go back to your original screen, there's an X mark right here. You click on that, and then it closes that screen, and then you open it back up.
Thank you. Okay.
Perfect. So again, I'm going to double click this to make it a true white. I'm going to go back over to my palettes and then add that in.
So how do you add that?
You just click it.
Oh,
Click on a free space.
We're supposed to be, but I got to do all this.
You just click on a free, like wherever there's no colors, you just click on it.
Okay.
Okay. The other way that you can use colors as well is under classic. So this is where, like, if you wanted to change and you wanted to make fine tune adjustments, but I wanted to show it for you this way. so that way I can also show you how to do black. So I would scroll all the way to the left. I guess it doesn't really matter. I just scrolled all the way to the left for the color, and then all the way to the white for the white. So that also brings me to white. Or I can bring this third one down here all the way down. That also brings me to a true black. So that's another way in the future for you to make changes if you want to make different shades. So you bring this bottom, the one that's black and right here, bring it all the way to the black. That would also bring you to a true black. And then we're going to, again, add that to our palette. Cool. Okay, now we're gonna rename this palette. You do is you just click on Untitled. It should pop up your screen, and then you can just write in, we'll just call it Autumn. And then press Done. And then there's your new palette.
So I can go, listen. Okay. Hit Untitled.
Yep. It pops up so that way you can edit it.
Okay. It's done. I guess.
Yep. And there you go.
Apologize.
Perfect. Okay, so now what we do is let's, what are we gonna do? Let's close it out first. Okay, we'll close out of that. Now that we're done with this, now we're done with the palette, we have two options. You can just delete the layer. So if you want to, when you have a new layer, you can, if you swipe to the left, you have the option to lock, duplicate, and clear. So here we can just clear it. Or I'm gonna double tap. I'm just gonna use two fingers and tap back. That's gonna bring me back. Or I can hide it. And what it means by hiding is that it saves the layer for me in case I want to come back, but I actually don't delete it from the project. So that highlighting it is just using that check mark right there. That hides the layer.
Save it. So how you hide it?
So there you see the check mark next to the N. That little check. That
Yes.
little.
Yes.
Yes. If you just click on that, you're good to go.
Okay.
Like my screw just fell to the floor. I'm like, oh well. Okay, so we're gonna let's just hide it for now. But you don't want to draw on it because if you start drawing on here, you can't see it. See, it says hidden layer. The current layer is hidden. Would you like to open layers? We don't need to right now, so I'll just press cancel. So what we do now is we'll start a new layer to start our drawing. You press on the layer button, which is that button right there, and you press the plus button, which means to create a new layer.
It says layer 2.
Yep, layer 2. Next name, to rename it, all you have to do is just click on it and press rename. And then let's name it our leaf. And then that's it. I like to name my layers because after a while, when you have all the layers, you're like, I have no idea where the heck anything is. Okay, so once we have our leaf layer, let's go to our brushes. I like to use the airbrush and hard airbrush for a lot of my drawings, but when you're playing on your own, just go through. Here, I'll show you. So I just picked this. This is the 6B for sketching.
Where are we going?
If I'm just showing you the different brushes. Try going to sketching, and then 6B pencil.
Which one?
Yep, we'll try that.
6B.
Yep, 6B.
Your sound is going down. It was louder, but now my volume is not. It's not.
Yeah, 6B.
Okay.
Okay. So I click on it. If this pulls up, you can just press cancel or done because we don't want to make any edits to this right now. So I select the brush and then I'm just, this is the different brushes you're playing with. So if you like this is more. If you look at closer, I'm gonna make this bigger. you look at the quality of the brush, it's going to be different than if I change it over to inking and I use a studio pen. See my studio pen here, that's very small. Let's bring that bigger. See, the opacity and the quality is different. So this one has it has the pointed that it has like the pencil, but the thing is that you see that I'm zooming in, with the pencil you can see all of the like the pencil marks as if it was actually imitating a real pencil, versus the studio pen where it looks like it would just be all inked. So depending on your project, it depends on what you're just using it for. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna clear this. To clear it, I can just use the 3 fingers to scrub, or let me see this way. When you have more than one layer, I can delete the whole thing and then add a new layer, or I can just click on it and press clear. So I cleared it. So whatever way you like to clear your canvas, will clear your canvas. So right now, let's switch over to the airbrush, and hard airbrush is what I use.
We're on sketching?
No, under airbrushing.
Okay.
Airbrushing, hard airbrush.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna go back to our palettes, and then I'm going to pick in orange. Okay. So here we're gonna start our first drawing.
Talking a big head right now.
Right now, my brush side's all the way up to the top. It's gonna be too big. For me, that's too big. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just tap with 2 fingers so it undoes it, and I'm gonna bring my brush size down to 30. Okay. And then I'm gonna zoom and tilt my drawing a little bit because I like to draw at an angle, but it's just whatever way is good for you. And then let's draw a leaf. And if you don't like it, say like, that looks kind of funky, you can just redo it, or if I untap and I undo it where I was, I'm like, okay, I want to redraw it so that way it has 3 points over here instead. So you can undo it or redo it. Actually, don't like that. There, that's better. We have our leaf shape yet?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Kind of.
And then we want to color it in. So there's 2 ways to color it in. You can just grab your brush and color it in one by one. You can make it this bigger. You can make your brush size bigger so you can draw it in. Or I double tap to undo. I'm going to bring my brush size back to 30. If this is filled all the way around, you press on your palette button, hold it down. Nope. Wrong color. You just press on it and pull, and it drops it in.
Press on the palette button.
Yep.
Grab the color
and then pull it in. So you press down and hold. So when I hold it, it has this little blot that's following me. I drop it in there.
So my palette button stays in the way. So how do you get the button out of the way?
So just close it. So right now, is it open like this?
Uh-huh.
So you just pick the color that you want, and then press on that button again to close. Press on that same circle to close. Yes?
Nope.
Did it close?
Yes.
Okay.
But okay.
Yeah,
so I hit the palette button. Tap the color. Right?
Yeah, tap the color and close it. So now you're closed again.
Okay.
Okay. Now you press on the button, but hold it and pull. Oops. It got dropped in the wrong one.
Yeah, I just keep getting lines. When I do that, I just keep getting the line.
Let me see. Just what happens if you do it real quick? Like use your finger, tap on it, and actually, and then yeah. So undo back to just back to your leaf.
Okay.
Okay. Tap and pull. Did that work? Or did it fill up your entire page? Either way would work. That's how you know you're doing it correctly. So you have to make sure that you don't let go after you pull it on there. Make sure you don't let go. Nikki, did it fill out for you?
Yay.
It worked? Woohoo! Yeah, there we go. If you look closely on mine, there's some spaces that didn't fill. So what I'll just do is I'll just go in and make sure that all that's filled in.
Okay. That takes practice. For me anyway.
No worries, no worries. That's exactly why, I created this group. What sucks is that I posted it on the Cricut for Beginners and the Cricut and Silhouette for Beginners group, and I'm pretty sure I got banned from both groups. Yeah, I'm just like very confused. I'm like, wait, how come I can't see anything anymore and I can't search for them? And all I was doing was the only reason I even created this, this live session was because there was a lot of people on both of the groups that were like, well, I have Procreate, I have the iPad, but I don't know how to use it.
And that's what I said too, because I was saying I don't have a lot. I mean, I have a desktop, it's old, so I don't use it. All I use is my iPad and my phone. So people who, like, I've asked questions, who uses their iPad? Because I want to learn how to do certain things. Like certain buttons on my iPad that are on your desktop.
Yeah.
Or laptop. So this is all I use.
Yep. And so I'm pretty sure I got banned for trying to promote a free class that people were asking for anyways. Okay. So after I finish filling it all in all my blanks, we're going to do some simple details. We're going to click on the palette button. I'm going to pick my yellow, one of my yellows. And then I'm going to close the palette. So now I'm selected yellow up here. I'm going to make my detail brush smaller. So I bring it, let me see if I like 15. 15 looks good. I can do 15. And then for 15, and then here I'll do is I'll start drawing in my details.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So right now I'm drawing it all on the same layer, which means that if I end up wanting to erase something, it will erase both colors. You see how it erases both colors? Mm-hmm. Okay. In the future, what I like to do is when I work with a brand new color, I actually create a new layer. But right now, we'll try that for the next one. We'll do that one for the pumpkin. But for this one, we'll just draw it all on the same layer. If you want, so there's two ways. Like you can just do your out. I'm gonna do an outline right here like this. In the future, I'll show you guys the difference between the alpha lock. I want my leaf to have.
Oh, so wrong.
Okay. Okay. So say like, okay, I like that as a sticker. I'll just continue with it and then we'll move on. So this, like right now, if you wanted to print it to where the white, not the yellow is just your border, all you have to do is, what you do is you go to your layers and you turn off your background color. When you turn off your background color, it makes your background invisible, and then you can save that by, to save it, you go to the wrench, you go to share, and what I do for these ones is I share it, I save it as a PNG, because when you save it as a PNG and you export it into Design Space, it already gets rid of that background for you, so you can just print out directly like that, and that'll be a print and cut. So say we'll do a PNG, and I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save my image, and it saves to my camera roll. So we'll just.
So
do
is
one
that
like
how
this.
we make stickers?
Yeah.
Oh, this is exciting.
Yep. But this one right here, the coloring is a little bit weird after I turned off the yellow, but it's still the same color I was earlier. So right here, this is when you bring it in like this without a background color, the Design Space will recognize that this is how you want it to cut. So now if a lot of people have been asking about, how do I get the white border around the sticker?
You draw it, right?
Yep. So let's go back, let's turn back on our background color. We're gonna change the color of the background so that we can actually see when we draw our white layer. We're gonna press on the background button. I'm gonna do that one more time. Right here, that white screen right now, we're gonna press on the background button. So it pops up your color wheel.
Is there another plug over there?
And then I'm going to change the color to, I'm gonna change it to a different color. Mine is currently yellow. I don't think you can see that. I'm trying to see what's a good color. This one, I'll do my green one. So whatever color you want to change your background to, so it's easier to see. Actually, I think I might have to do dark. So that way I'll do a dark purple because that it shows on the screen better. Okay? So that, what it does is it changes your background color. So now you're gonna do white, you're not drawing white on white. So now we're gonna add the borders for the leaf. You're going to add a new layer. And then we're gonna move that layer underneath the leaf. How to move it? You just hold onto that layer and then you move it down below the leaf. So you just have to hold and pull down. Did that work?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So now whatever layer is highlighted blue is the layer that you're actively working in. Okay? So now I'm gonna go back up to my color palette. I'm gonna pick the white. And then I'm gonna close my palette. From there, what you're gonna do is we're still in the hard brush. What I'm gonna show you here though is the difference between if you happen to click on this. So what I play when I'm making my stickers and I'm making that white background, there's this streamline right here. The lower the streamline,
where is that right there?
So click on, you go into airbrushing and hard airbrush and click on it.
Okay.
Okay. Do you see streamline? It's under stroke properties and there's streamline.
Yes.
Okay. So when your streamline is low, you have a lot more, it doesn't snap. You have a lot more freedom on how you draw. I'm gonna clear my drawing pad. You have a lot more angles. It's more free flowing. But when you bring your streamline all the way up to 100, it smooths it out for you. I don't know if you can see the difference. You're just gonna have to play with the streamline when you're drawing. But for this one, when I do my white backgrounds, I turn it all the way up to max. So for now, we'll pull it all the way up to max. After you put max, you press done. And then we'll just close out of the brush, and then we're back into this layer, and then we're gonna draw. So make sure that you're in your layer 3 for right now. We'll rename that as white background in a moment. And now next, what we do is we just start drawing. Oops, I'm going to actually increase my brush size to, let's do 50. I increased my brush size. And then I start drawing my white background. I increased my brush size, and then I start drawing my white background.
Nice.
And then if you're like looking at it and I'm like, for me right here, I'm like, that's too thick. I just want to erase it. You click on the erase button. If you hold down the erase button, it will default to whatever brush is currently in your brush settings. So
Okay.
So like say if I didn't want it to be an airbrush and I wanted it to be like a calligraphy brush when I erase, I can click with it. But if I want it to match the brush that I'm currently using, you just highlight it, you just hold on to it, and then it will default to the brush that you're currently using. And then I'll go in, and I'm gonna clean that up a little bit.
They said we're gonna leave like 2:30.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make my brush a little bit bigger so that way I can. And I can go back in with my brush, make it a little bit smaller, and then just clean it up so that way it looks nicer. How's that? How's yours coming out?
It works. Mm-hmm.
Woo! Okay. So we're gonna go in, and I'm gonna rename the layer first. Right now it says layer 3. I'm gonna name it. I'm gonna rename. So you click on it, you press rename, and I'm gonna put white leaf. That's how I know it's gonna be my background. White leaf. Okay. Here, now we're gonna turn off that top layer. We're gonna turn off our leaf color so that way we can see our white background. What I'm gonna do from here is I'm gonna fill it in.
I turn it off?
It's next to the N. It's that check mark.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So here my color is already white because we were working with the white brush. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna color it in. So now, do you see when I'm coloring this one, it snaps to, it snaps. There's a lot more uniformity because my streamline is on. Open up your brushes again. Go to hard airbrush and lower your streamline. Let's bring our streamline back down to say 50%, and then try drawing it and see if you can see the difference. Can you tell the difference, Nikki and Marlene? When you have it on full streamline versus like a 50%. So when I'm free drawing, I tend to have a lower streamline, and then when I'm doing things like these where where I was doing it to where I really needed to take the shape, I use my my high streamline, my maximum streamline, so that way it gives me nice smooth curves. So here I filled it all in.
So do you have to fill it in, or can you just weld the layers?
You can merge them. I just like to fill in just cause. Because What you can do, like you said, Haley, is if I just merge the two, then it does the same. It does the same thing.
Now I have a snowman.
Okay. But so now we turn it back on. You'll turn your leaf layer back on. And then we have two options to merge it. It's like, say I don't want to make any more changes to this. And I'm happy with it. I am okay with the layers and everything like that. I'll do is I'll combine it. So what you do in order to combine the two, there's two options. You can press on the button, you press on leaf, and then there's a merge down. The other option is if you take the two of them and you I don't know, it's like, isn't it like me? Let me see. If I take the two of them and I pinch them, I'll show you that one more time. I'm gonna undo my merge. If I grab the two, if I just pull the two layers and pinch them, you see how they kind of overlap there? That means that they will merge together. I think it's easier sometimes to just use the button, because then I don't merge the wrong things. So again, to merge with buttons, I'm gonna double tap to undo my layers. I just click on that top one and press merge down.
The merge down to do the same as the two fingers?
Yep.
Okay.
The two fingers, when you pinch them together, will combine the layers together.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll save, let's turn off our background color again this time. And then let's save this copy one more. We're gonna save it as a PNG, because when you save it as a PNG and there's no background, it already comes in as a clear background when it's in DS.
Hold on, I'm going to the wrench, right?
Yep, the wrench, share.
PNG.
And PNG, yep. And then save image.
Not play it. No patience.
You got there?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, let's turn our coloring. Let's color. I'll turn my background back on. Let's add a new layer, and then let's work on a pumpkin. Okay. So here, I'm gonna change my color back over to an orange.
Oh, we're on the same team, cuz.
My brush.
So hold on. So we're going to, we're adding a new layer.
Yep, add a new layer. Okay. We're gonna pick an orange brush again, because we're gonna make a pumpkin.
I would have been let Caprio go.
Yeah. My brushes right now is airbrush, hard brush, the hard airbrush, and my streamline's on about 50. So I'm just that's about where it is right now.
Okay.
Yep. So here, we're gonna draw a pumpkin. Actually, I wanted to show you. If you want to draw a straight line, all you have to do. Let me read you this. If you want to draw a straight line, you draw straight down and then you hold, and then that's a straight line for you. If you want it to sit at exactly 90 degrees, you take your finger and you press down, and it will snap in, I think, 15 degree increments.
It does that with other shapes too, right?
With other,
like you can make circles and squares and stuff.
Yep. So this one is a straight line. If I wanted to, that was just me undoing, so I'm just tapping with two fingers. You can do this with like rectangles. Granted, I have to be able to draw a rectangle, not overlap. There we go. So here's my quadrilateral, and then you can edit shape. So there's a rectangle. So it automatically should a rectangle for you with a polyline, which means that I can move the shapes as I want and all that fun stuff that happens with it. I'm gonna tap out of it to get rid of it because I don't need that one. And then that also applies for when you're doing circles and ovals. What I'm actually do is when I edit shape. So here's my ellipse. I can also do it as a circle. So for this one, I'm actually going to keep my ellipse. I'm going to adjust it so it's a little bit wider for my pumpkin.
Yeah, I got lost there.
No
How big
worries.
is the circle?
So just draw a circle and hold down. I'll start from the top. Draw a circle and hold down. Did that work?
Draw a circle.
And then hold down. Don't lift your finger. Or don't lift your pen.
And then what?
Did it automatically snap? So here so Marlene, watch, right? I draw my circle and hold it, and then it automatically snaps. So I can make it bigger.
Okay.
When I hold it down, it does this.
Okay.
Okay. I edit. You can press edit shape, and then you can change your ellipse if you want it to be more flat. You can be more round.
Yay.
Is that Joe?
I don't think so.
Perfect. We'll do that. And then again, to fill it, again, you can just color it in with your brush, or you can just drag and pull.
Oh, damn it. That's definitely Joe.
She crying?
No, she's just.
Did it work for you this time, Marlene?
No, hold on. Keeps changing to white. Let me figure this out.
Come on, bro.
It keeps defaulting to white. Is there something I need to do?
What's defaulting? Is your color orange though?
Yeah.
And then
When I
what's
tap it and try to drag it over, it changes to white.
You tap it and change to white. Well, don't tap it. Just hold it, and then pull over. Try that.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, so you just click on it and then pull over. Yeah. Say right now it's kind of sitting at a slant. It's like sitting this direction, and I'm not a big fan of it. You do is you use this this layer right here. Not layer. That arrow button right here. That selects that layer, and then you can rotate it. I'm just going to rotate it a little bit so it stands straight up, so I can see it a little better. But then you can also resize. So if it's too big, if it's too small, and you're like, okay. Are we ready to move forward?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So now what I'm going to do, remember this first time when we were doing the leaves, we worked on it all on one layer. This time we're going to do multiple layers, because then I think it's easier to fix when it's that way. So what we're going to do by multiple layers means is that you're going to, so right here, it's layer 3 for that giant oval. I'm going to name it the pumpkin. So click on it, press rename, pumpkin.
What I'm gonna use because
Then I'm going to add my new layer. And then I'm going to change my colors. I'm going to go over to my palette. And then do I have a brown? I'll just use the dark green. I have the dark green right there. I'll use that as the stem.
Yo, what the freak?
I pick the green. I go back over to my, I make sure that I'm in that new layer. Right now it's layer 4. And I'm going to draw my stem. Remember, and if you don't like it, you can just, and you're like, that's too far. I'm gonna undo it. I like that better. I'll keep it that way. So you make edits as you need. My brush, I'm gonna make sure that it's not my current brush. My current brush. That's weird. Nope, I should. My current brush is not a script, so I don't know why it says that. Yeah. There's my stem. I'm gonna go rename that layer as stem. And then I'm gonna go pick a yellow or a light orange. I'm gonna use yellow. And then I'm gonna create a new layer. And then I'm gonna start working on my pumpkin details. So my details right now, if I keep it at the same size, it's gonna be too big for me. I think that's too big. I'm gonna make my brush size a little bit smaller and then just start drawing my pumpkin details. What's cool about when we were talking about the snap feature, this also works for curves. So here I am, if I want to draw it and down and I hold it down, it also creates an arc for me. And then I can edit shape and I can push this up and down a little bit, or I can move this out if I want more of a curve. But that only works when you make the line. After you make the line, you can't fix it like that. So I'm holding it down and it automatically snaps and it makes this nice smooth line for me. So say like I accidentally do this and it's this weird looking shape. I can just edit shape and I can fix the arc. I do not like that. How's our pumpkin looking?
Like a Christmas ornament.
Well, it's almost the right time for him, so. Yeah. So what's nice about it being in its own layer like this is that I can, because it's its own layer, the pumpkin details is its own layer, is that I can make adjustments to it by itself. So here, you see how I can adjust that pumpkin layer without messing up the pumpkin. Right? So like if I think this right now is too bright, if I think the pumpkin details are too bright, click on the layers and then you can press on the N this time. You can actually lower the opacity, which means it won't be as dark. Not as dark, but as full. So this opacity one right here under the N will play with how transparent you want your lines to be. So I'm gonna make it let's try 78. So you can see. So it's a little bit lighter than it was before. So it'll be in the N opacity and you can play with it. So this is much brighter. This is much brighter. This is right here. See, it's more transparent as I pull it down. So if I just want it to be very light in details, that's how I would do it. Okay. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of shading. I'll show you how to do a little bit of shading. Let me see how I want to do this. Okay, I'm going to rename that pumpkin layer. Rename. I'm going to call it pumpkin details.
Which layer is that?
The one that you just drew your details on. It was layer 5, I think.
Okay.
I'm going to call it pumpkin details.
So we're able to go in after this is all done to delete all this, right?
You meant delete it from where?
I'm saying if you want to delete all this, does it stay here after you're done with this?
Yep. This stays here
Okay.
after your, and then when you exit out,
Just delete everything. Okay.
yep, it saves everything, all your projects and everything. So, okay, so we'll create a new, actually, how my I'm zooming, how I want to do this. Okay. Actually, you know, I'm gonna do it on top of it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna merge all three now, because I like the way it looks. I'm happy with it. We're gonna merge all three. So again, what you can do is you can just do it one by one. You just click on it, merge down, click on it, merge down. Or you can pinch the three layers together. I grab the pumpkin, I grab the pumpkin, I grab the pumpkin details, the stems in the middle, and I just pinch them all together. It becomes one layer. How's that? Julio. Okay. So here, now that's all one layer, when I press the adjust button, which is the, the resize tool that's in the top with the arrow, now everything is resized. Or everything is going to be turned by itself together, because now it's one layer. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to teach you one last one for as for like a quick demo for the options. What I want you to do, because right now it's drawing on the whole canvas. It's drawing on the whole canvas. Let's change the color to this dark red. Is that dark red, dark purple? I think that's my dark red. There's my dark red. So right now, say I want to draw, but it's drawing on the whole canvas, right? But I want it to just draw on the pumpkin. So I'm gonna double tap to undo. I want it to just draw on my pumpkin layer. I go to my layers, I press on the pumpkin, and I press alpha lock.
Press what?
Alpha
lock. Okay.
Alpha lock, yep. That will only allow me to draw on my pumpkin.
Yeah.
Your daughter took a stinky.
Who?
Your daughter took a stinky.
Yeah. So that allows me to draw just on that layer. It does not draw outside of what's already been there.
Okay.
So what next want to do, and let's go back to our airbrush. Let's use a soft airbrush this time. And then I'm gonna lower my opacity to like 30-ish. Let me see if that's good. Yeah, that might be good. So I lowered my opacity down to 30, and then I'm gonna bring my brush size up to about 60. See if I like that. Yeah. And then I can start airbrushing my some, like, some shadows in. And again, because I have one of the benefits of having the Apple Pencil is being pressure sensitive. If I press harder, you see how it gets so much darker. Whereas if I just lightly work on it, it will just go at that opacity that I was working at. There are my shadows.
So I'm tapping it, and it's just tapping it. It's just doing the whole thing. It's not coloring in.
What are you tapping?
I was getting ready to color, and when I touched the screen, it just filled in.
Just filled in.
I can take it. I mean, of course, I can undo it. So.
Yep.
I went to go tap, and it's just doing this. I mean, I was tapping to go.
Your brush size is too big.
You said what do you have it on?
I have it on 60, but the thing is that mine, maybe it might be yours might be too big on yours.
Okay.
So we'll make it a smaller size.
Mm-mm.
Did it work?
Yeah, let me just undo everything. I don't know what's happening here. So this is on soft brush, airbrushing.
Yep.
You have to bring it down to like 2%.
Oh, really? Oh, you must. Yours must have been really small then.
My pumpkin?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like. So yep. So if everybody who's watching the replay hears it, where what's happening is that her brush is bigger than the size of her pumpkin, which means that when she was tapping on it, it was coloring the whole thing. So she just needed a smaller brush in order to color in the spacing. And then if you wanted to try to blend it a little bit better, you can try using that smudge tool. Let me see. What am I smudge? Just gonna be airbrush. Yeah, we can try and give it a try. So smudge tool, airbrushing, soft airbrush. This pops up. I won't touch anything with it. And then you can try blending your layers together. I'm doing a little. That was try to smear it in. You can play with it. Gives you a little bit more texture if that's something that you're going for.
Where's the smudge?
Yep, the smudge is between the eraser and the brush. So that icon with the finger.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah. Now you can kind of play around and you can smudge it so that way it has a little bit more texture.
Oh,
Whatever effect you're going for.
Can you tap and shut up? Can you tap and hold that one to make it the same as what you were using before too?
Yep. So
Okay.
it says smudge with current brush when you do that. And I don't like the fact that my pumpkin's so round at the bottom. How is it gonna sit? So I'm gonna change I'm gonna erase with my current brush, which is my soft brush. And I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna just make this a little bit not so round at the bottom. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna, again, in order to do a white layer, this time we won't fill it in. We're gonna add a new layer. So just a reminder, our pumpkin layer right now is on alpha lock. If you see the little checkers around that pumpkin or around your canvas, that means it's alpha locked, which means when you're on that layer, you can only draw on what's already on the screen. You can't draw on the canvas on the outside. So if you want to turn it off, all you have to do is just click on the pumpkin and press alpha lock off, and then you're good to go, and then you can draw on that layer again. So now this time around, we're going to draw the white border again around the pumpkin. We'll go to layer 4. This is my new layer. I'm going to pick my brush. I like to use the hard airbrush, and I like to bring my streamline up to 100% for this one. My maximum when I'm doing my sticker outline. I'm going to change the colors over to white for the sticker border. Remember that we want this, if I don't move this layer below the pumpkin, when I start drawing on it, it's gonna start drawing. I'm gonna bring up my brush size. When I start drawing it, it's gonna start drawing over the pumpkin. But all I have to do is just bring that layer, hold onto it, and move it below the pumpkin. And then it shows up behind the pumpkin. Too big. There. I'll just continue tracing my pumpkin. You just want to make sure when you're drawing these, your lines are smooth, because otherwise when you bring them over to design, they are going to pull up those all those raggedy edges. What I'm doing is I'm just making sure I go in with a smaller brush, and then just making it smooth out right there. Some parts there won't be that big a deal, but so there's our pumpkin with the white. So what you can do is now, so you have multiple, oh yeah, let me finish this up first. So after you're done drawing your outline, the first time that we did it, let me fix that real quick. The first time we did it, we turned off the layer and filled in the white layer. But if you don't want to do that, all you have to do is just combine the two layers, and then you don't even have to worry about filling it in because your pumpkins is filled up. What I did this time, what the heck did I just drop? I don't know. Oh, anything. What I did this time was just, again, pinch the two. You can grab the two and pinch it, or you can click on it and press merge down. How we doing?
So my layer 5, my stem, my pumpkin, my layer 6 should all be merged, right?
Yep, you can merge all of them now. Make sure they're in the right order, though.
Leave it alone. Stop. Go.
So layer 5, stem, pumpkin, layer 6.
Yeah, as long as it looks right on your screen. Does it look right on your screen, like your stem is not hiding behind your pumpkin and your white background isn't in front?
The white background's in the back.
Okay, that's good. And then next is your pumpkin.
The pumpkin.
Yep, and then next would be probably your stem.
So
And
if
then-
I merge it and it messes up, what do I can
You can undo it.
Okay.
Yep, just try merging them. If it didn't look right, then just play with the order of it.
Okay, we'll see.
Good. Coolio. Okay. So now there's like, you can always, do individual stickers and export it like as single files like we did for the leaf. Or if you want to make a whole sticker page, you can do it all here as well. So like say if I'm going to do real quick is I'm just going to duplicate my leaf. So, in order to to delete and duplicate. So what? Say this is the layer, you swipe to the left, you have to delete. If I want to make a duplicate of it, I just swipe to the left and press duplicate. And then what I'll do is I'll press the arrow button, which allows me to move it. And then I'll just move it to where I want it to be. And then like you can create a whole sticker sheet with a bunch of
It's on the, so let's go back. So how you put it on the page?
So you duplicate your drawing. Did you already do that?
Yes.
So now you have two of the drawings. You press that top arrow button. Do you see that top arrow button right there?
I'm just making a mess here.
No, no worries. The pointer.
So I have 2 layer 6s. That's
okay. That's fine.
merge.
That's fine.
So then once I do that, and I hit the arrow button.
You hit the arrow button, and then you move it. What's happening is when you duplicated it, it's sat on top of each other, so you can't see. So now when you move it, you can see that they're two different things.
No.
Did that work?
Nope.
Well, what is it moving?
It's moving just the pumpkin.
And what were you?
I'm trying to get my screen back to shape. I can't get my screen back in shape because I keep.
Oh. Okay, then leave it. Yeah, let's leave it there. Exit. Press on the arrow button so you exit out of it, and then redo your screen. Did you exit out of the arrow button?
Yes.
Okay,
Just
and
bring
now
it
you can
back.
resize your screen. Yep.
So I'm gonna go back to layers. I'm
Go
gonna
to
do
layers.
another. I want to duplicate again just to see.
Yep.
So now I have 3 layer 6s, but I can't. I only see one pump. Just to see one pumpkin on my
Because
screen.
they're layered on top of each other. So that's why we have to move them. So you press the arrow button and then you move it on your screen and then it will pop up to another one.
Thank you.
Did that work?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So this is if you want to create your own sticker sheet in Procreate. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we'll turn off our background color. So now you have a clear background with just the stickers that you want. We're going to go to the wrench tool, press share, and go to the PNG one more time, and save your image. Are we good?
Yes.
Okay. So now let's jump over. This is going to be the end of learning in Procreate. Let's go put it over into Design Space. Where that is, if I can remember where the heck it is. There it is. Cricut Design.
My design space on my it's not letting me sign in on my iPad. It acts funny sometimes.
Okay. So you can just watch because I'm pretty sure that you're familiar with this.
Yes.
Okay. So we have our new project. Actually replace. We're going to upload. We're going to select from our photo library. And then I'm going to upload our very first set, which was the one without the white border. So here it has the shape. Remember, it has no white border. Because it's a PNG and we turn off the background when we were in Procreate, it already got rid of the background for us. So now the shape that it's going to cut is just going to be the shape that we imported in. You don't have to clean anything up, which makes it super nice. Press next. I don't need to worry about any of that. And then it's going to be a print and cut. We'll make sure that it's a print and cut. I'm going to do leaf without border, just so I have it. Press done. And so that's our first one. I'm going to insert it in just so we can see it, the differences between all of them. Then we're going to upload our second set, which is the one with the leaf with the white border. So here you can see it. That's how we get the white border. Or at least for me, the easiest way to get the white border for when you're printing on a sticker page. You're going to press next. That looks all good with me. I make sure that it's a print and cut. And I'm going to put leaf with white. Load that one. I need to resize you. I need to move you. There we go.
So when I just inserted my pumpkin with a white border, it has a black line around it. Is it supposed to?
The black line it's going to tell you where it's cutting. Do you see around you see right there? I have it as
Okay,
well.
I see it now.
That means that's where it's going to cut. Whereas over here, the black line is right along the edge of the yellow of the leaf, because over here we didn't have a white border, and therefore when you print and cut, it won't have a white border. And so now,
Got it.
and now if I want the whole sticker page, because I decided to design a whole sticker page on Procreate, I do the same thing, add it in. See, all of these have has a white background, has a white border.
This is so exciting.
Next, cut, put the sticker sheet, make sure, yep, print and cut in my save. Oh, where'd it go? Where did you go? Now I have to remember where the heck I did it. Open uploaded images. There you are. I only got my maker like 2 weeks ago, so.
Oh, how nice.
So
Yeah, I got it. It's funny. I had to force it. I had to close it and open back up, so I was able to put them back on design. I mean, mine are all goofy, but
perfect. And so here, like these are individual ones, so you can always just do it. You can always rearrange it yourself. Whereas this one was already going to be a sticker page, so where if I just want it to the size that I want, I would just change it to the 8.5 by 11 and print it out, and then where it would cut would be where those black lines are. So there's different ways of how you want to do it. If you just want a single image or a single sticker versus creating a single versus creating a whole sticker page. And when you press, nah, that's fine. I know. Play with it later. Okay, I think that's it for today. How y'all feeling?
I feel good.
This is exciting.
Yeah. So I went through a lot of different techniques today, and there was a lot more, and I'm just like, I don't want to overwhelm y'all.
Yeah, I'm excited because, like I say, I just bought it. I just bought it like 2 weeks ago to Procreate because I was at the class last year, obviously, and I was like, I need to get by that. So I enjoyed the class so much that I said I need to learn more. He was telling me that there's some classes online, but this is good because it's like I can say, wait.
Yeah. So that's nice. Okay, so that's it for today's class. I'll have this link posted up online at some point. I just have to figure out how to upload it and whatnot. And then next week, I would bring a photo with me, or I can just provide a photo for us to learn how to do one of those faceless, one of those faceless portraits. They're not that hard to do, especially when you're just tracing over them in Procreate.
Are you talking about these?
Let me unpin myself. Yeah, those type of things. Yeah. I've found that a lot of people are super excited and wanting to learn about them, and they're like, what's going on? I'm like, super easy. We can figure it out.
They're super fun to do, though.
And it's nice because you don't have to come up with any of the shapes yourself, right? Especially if you're importing in your own pictures.
Or the colors.
And the colors. Yeah, that's like, okay. If you guys have if y'all have any questions, feel free to message me. And then let me know if anything goes on, or you want to share any of your projects that you do later this week. That I would love to see them.
Okay.
I'm actually going to ask also, I reached out to the moderator, the admin, was it Sarah Vanna, on the Cricut for Silhouette one, about asking about why I got banned. But if you feel so inclined or want to help me out, if you wouldn't mind reaching out to them and saying, hey, is there a reason, like, Sandy's just doing this, free for the community. It's like, if you can like write a quick message of support and asking her if she'll let me back in.
Okay, that's just so crazy.
I'm slightly sad.
I've seen other people branch off